I'm going to show you 5 different easy effective methods of seeds germination. Stay tuned, be right back. Hello happy YouTubers! My name is Marcelina. Welcome to another video. If this is your first time visit here, start now by subscribing below and hitting the bell so you don't miss anything. Oh, one more thing. Also give this video thumbs up. You have 5 seconds. Are you done yet? Okay, let's dive in. We're going to cover germination, the 5 different ways of growing seeds, and the different lighting that we will be using as our grow light so we can get going and germinate our seeds indoor. So go ahead, grab your seeds. Spring is around the corner, time to grow. We are now first week of February. I normally germinate my seeds on the first week of March, but I'm going to start growing seeds early this year. I have 3 different varieties of seeds that I'm going to grow. I have these Naga Vipers, one of the hottest pepper besides Carolina Reaper and Ghost Pepper. I haven't grown Naga Vipers before, so I will try growing this year. I also have Desert Rose, one of my favorite succulent flower that I enjoy growing, and I have my bitter melon. So for those of you who don't know about bitter melon is one most popular Asian vegetable. It has this bitterness taste. So if you guys enjoy eating bitter food, you might consider growing bitter melon. Now, bitter melon is supposed to correct blood sugar naturally. Research studies have found that taking 1 teaspoon of bitter melon extract every day by mouth will help treat type 2 diabetes. This might be something we would want to investigate further and learn more about the health benefits of eating bitter melon. So what I'm going to do here, guys, I'm going to show you the 5 different ways of germinating seeds. Probably one of these methods you learned back in high school. So we're going to start the number 5, which is the paper towel method. So stay with me until to the end. We'll continue after the break.
Okay, y'all. I just want to know how come you haven't subscribed yet. I got over 30 dang videos out there, and I ain't getting enough subscriptions. How come y'all haven't subscribed yet?
Well, what's the purpose of all subscribing?
Because when you subscribe, you help out my channel, and also YouTube likes to send out more videos to everybody else as a recommended video. So, what do you think about that, Ma?
Yo, subscribe, yo.
That was pitiful, Ma.
The paper towel method is one easy method of germinating seeds, and it's also very helpful in growing seeds that are smaller than beans. So what you will need, you need a Ziploc, a straw, paper towel, measuring spoon, seeds, water bottle spray, and peroxide. So let's get started. So the first thing, you need to soak your seeds in 1 teaspoon of peroxide. I already have this peroxide here. Soak the seeds for 2 hours. This is going to help eliminate some fungus that may have contracted the seeds. Now, while you are preparing your seeds or soaking the seeds in peroxide, you need to prepare your paper towel like what you see here, and spread the paper towel with water. This is why it is necessary to use the bottle spray instead of pouring the water bottle onto the paper, because doing this way it is going to control how much amount of water you're going to wet this paper. You don't have to soak or saturate the paper. You just need to spray so that the seeds will stick it in here and it doesn't saturate. So after soaking for 2 hours, I already have this paper here. I already soaked this for 2 hours. So you need to place this in a wet paper paper towel. Just spread them. Okay, so spread the seeds apart. Alright, then after you spread the seeds, you fold in half. You can fold few times, but I preferred folding in half because it's easy handling, and especially if the seeds is starting to sprout, and then it's easy for me to open and get my new sprout seeds. So just like that. Then you can fold this one here. Okay, now after you place the seeds in the paper, you put it in the ziploc. So with your straw, you're going to place the straw in the ziploc. So instead of blowing without a straw, this is very helpful. So what I do, I place the seeds first inside the bag. So you just need a small bag, you don't need to have this large ziploc. So after you place the seeds in the bag using a straw, you just place the straw the end. Zip the bag all the way to the end, and then blow air. So this is easy to extend the air, extend the bag. Then just fold and then completely sealed. So after you have it inside, then you place this on the top of the heating mat, which I'm going to show you later on. Make sure you label your germination. As you can see, I label Naga Viper paper 2521. So this is where you identify what type of seeds you grow. Alright, so we finished the paper towel method. So let's move on to number 4, the glass method. This is probably the technique of seeds germination you guys learned way back in high school, but we are still using this type of germination because it is very easy and clean method to germinate seeds. So what you will need, you need glass. I already filled with water, and you need perlite, pitcher, alcohol, peroxide, measuring spoon, seeds, rubber band, and ziploc bag. Okay, so let's begin. So the first thing that you will need is to spray your materials, disinfect your materials before you start germination. I already spray with alcohol, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to rinse this perlite with water because I want to remove the powdery stuff. So I just place it in here. So I just put this perlite here in the pitcher. Ooh, look at that, the powder is spreading on the air. And then pour the water. So I wanna remove this powder. You can see that. So you just have to rinse it. Okay, then after that, in a glass, this is already a clean glass, you just squeeze the perlite, squeeze the remaining water, and then place in the glass. Okay, so after you place the perlites in the glass and you place your seeds in the glass. Alright, then after that you just spray the seeds, push down a little bit, a quarter of an inch. You don't want to push it too deep. And just cover. Okay, it's already in there. Then with your Ziploc, you just cover the glass. This is going to create moisture. With your rubber band, just place over. Just like that. Then label your seeds. I have the label here. And then just place on the top of the glass. Or you can also write on the plastic. And place this in the heating pad. So make sure your heating pad, guys, has controller, so you can control the temperature, because the temperature that you need to set with the heating pad is between 72 and 75, or you can set to 75 degrees. I use alcohol spray to clean the pagpanic system. So if you have this system like this, guys, you can just use alcohol and clean the entire area. It's a little bit dirty, so it's time for cleanup. Alright, so let's move on to the number 3 method, substrate germination. I include this pagpanics in this type of germinating seeds because I use pagpanics, and I'm going to share to you guys the system. Now, pagpanics is best for propagating plants by stem cuttings, but there is no limit of use of the system to growing plants or propagating seeds. However, if you are going to use pagpanics as your means of germinating seeds, I would recommend you guys to just grow seeds that are larger, like bitter melon, pumpkin seeds, squash seeds. So those bigger seeds. I won't recommend to grow seeds that are smaller, like bok choy and any vegetables seeds that are smaller, because what happens, it drops easily to the system. But there is a way to prevent the seeds from dropping down, which I'm going to show you now. You can use the Jiffy bag or rock wool and place your seeds and put it in the pag machine. So I have these seeds here. I grow the Naga Vipers, so I place it in the Jiffy bag. So I use the smaller basket, place my Jiffy, and then place it again in the bigger basket. This is the 2.5 inch. Then I place in the system. Now, keep in mind, the fogger system can only distribute small amount of water particles, which is the fog. So it takes a while to saturate the bag. So your seeds will dry out easily. So what I did, I dip my Jiffy in water for a few seconds and then place it in the system. So I want to keep that moist. Then after I place in the system, I use this lid. You can use plastic cup and then place over it. So this is going to help building up moisture and also preventing the fog from escaping out from the atmosphere. Now, I grow seeds. I had problem last year when I grew beans. So my problem was I placed a lot of beans inside the basket. So what happened, majority of these seeds were not sprouting. So if you are germinating seeds, guys, don't put too much because you are damaging the rest of the seeds. So limit only 3 or 4 seeds. So I have the bitter melon here. Look at that. So I only placed 2 seeds here. and I use the insert and place on the top and put in the system. And I keep my seeds until they produce true leaves, and I see those root coming down. So that is the time I transfer them to the garden. So that is pagpanics. If you guys want to learn more on how to build your pagpanic system, watch the video at the end of this video, and I had few pagpanic system, how to set up the system, and also how to propagate plants using the pagpanic system. I also going to link the system below. If you want the system, just check the link and get from there. Alright guys, so stay with me until to the end, because I'm going to bring Greg Steven in my video. He's going to give you an insight of the different lighting that you will be using as your grow light, because if you are going to grow seeds indoor, you definitely need grow lights. So knowing what lights you will be using influence the germination process. Okay, so the substrate method is going to be your soilless media where you grow seeds. We used the Happy Frog before to germinate our seeds, and we found out that the quality of the substrate was not doing well with the germination, because as you can see, there's a lot of big chunk, and it can easily dry out. So I probably discard this soil and then place it in the raised bed. So if you are going to use Happy Frog, I would recommend to siphon the substrate until you get the finest texture. So we'll replace the Happy Frog of germinating our seeds with the microgreens. I'm going to show it to you here. So this is the microgreens. As you can see, look at that, the quality is awesome. So it has this good proportion, good ratio proportion. As you can see, it contains perlite and vermiculite in a small particle. So the soilless media is not easily to dry out. Now when I germinate my seeds, I use purified water. I don't use tap water, but you can use tap water. Just remember that tap water contains chlorine, which is not good for germination. I would recommend to set the water for a few hours to evaporate the chlorine. So let's go ahead and fill in our tray. So keep your substrate moist until you can create like a ball like that it crumpled. Don't saturate. So if you saturate this substrate, you have to squeeze the remaining water like that and then place in the tray. So I'm going to germinate my desert rose here. So this is the methods that you are going to dirty your hand. If that is okay for you guys to dirty your hand. Okay, so this is done. So what I'm going to grow here, I'm going to grow this desert rose. Look at this desert rose, is so cute. So when you grow desert rose, so you just place. So I just show it to you, okay? So you just place like that. And then just press down just a little bit, a quarter of an inch, and cover. You don't have to push too deep because it would takes a while for the seeds to germinate. Okay, so when I use the seed tray, growing my seeds in the seed tray, I leave one hole like what you see here, because this is going to be the perfect for me when I pour the water. So if I pour water here, it's easy, just like that. So I don't need to spray, but using just pouring water in the hole. Then after I done my germination, so once you're done germinating the seeds using this method, place a dome tray. This is going to help building up moisture. Now in the first week of germination, you can close the vent, and then make sure you label the tray with the name and date, just like that. Now when you see the seeds start to germinate, you open a little bit, open the vent. You want to air out some of the moisture. So as they develop and ready for transfer, you completely open the vent. So this is the substrate method. Then after that, you place this in the heating mat. I use heating mat in my germination during winter time, but if it is summertime, if I germinate seeds, I don't use heating mat because the temperature is warmer. So only during winter time. We grow a lot of desert rose, guys. So this is our desert rose. Look at that, it's so beautiful. Alright, so before we move on to the last topic of germination, our number one methods, let's talk about the seeds. So this is the seeds, guys, that we grow, and this is one of them. Look at that, it's beautiful. This is a red desert rose. Now seeds are all come in different shapes and sizes, what you see here, but they are all made of three parts. So the outer shell is the seed coat. Now seed coat has important job in protecting the baby plant inside and against foreign substance, and also keeping the baby plant from drying out. Now inside the seeds is the embryo. So this is the embryo that turns into a beautiful plant, and the food that supports the embryo is the endosperm. So when you grow seeds, you'll see it in here. So like this one here. So this is the baby plant. It's just coming out from the shell. Look at that, it's so beautiful. I'm going to help you, baby. So just remove this one. Oh, poor thing. So when they have this cotyledon, the first leaves, you don't have to fertilize them. You only fertilize them when they show true leaves. So you fertilize, because at this stage right now, there is still food provided to them. So just let it be. And this is one of my desert rose. Look at that, guys. It's beautiful. Now, when you are asking, what does a plant need to start growing? Well, to get it started, you need proper amount of sunlight, good amount of water, and good amount of temperature. So all of these three things is the plant will grow. So for plant, the process is called germination. All right, so let's move on to let's go ahead and finish our germination. So I'll bring you over to that area. All right, guys, so I have Greg Stephens here.
What's up, guys?
So I bring him in this video so he can speak about this lighting. So if you want to learn more about different lights, so he is the right guy. All right, it's your turn, Maestro. See you before closing, guys.
All right, we're talking about lighting. She wants me to talk about the difference between lumen and kelvins. And when you're propagating seeds, you don't need any light at all. Only thing you need is just warmth and moisture. But once they emerge and you have your cotyledon seeds, the cotyledons are popping out, then you need to have lights. The distance you have your lights from your seedlings is important also, depending on how powerful your lights are. You need 2,000 to 3,000 lumens for your plants as they're growing. And you might want to get a meter that measures how many lumens that you're getting. If you go into your Google App Store, they have a lot of apps that measure light, but they're in lux, not in lumens. And there's a formula, you can go on, Google it, and how to convert the lux to lumens. The lumens measure the light's intensity, how bright the light is. And if you use like an incandescent bulb, for an example, that's about 600 lumens. And a regular fluorescent bulb is going to be around 1,000. That's not good enough. You need to get row lights that are in the 2,000 to 3,000 range. Your kelvins are the quality of light, the spectrum of light that's in the bulb. And basically they say you need mostly blue and green light in that bulb. That theory is kind of changing now. They're kind of determining that the yellow and the green is also very important. It does different things. But you need around 6,500 kelvins in that bulb. And most of the packages will say right on there what the kelvins and what the lumens are on the bulbs. Everybody is getting away from the metal halide lights because they put out so much heat and they gobble up so much electricity. The best lights today are the LEDs, and they're a lot cheaper, they run cooler, and they're not expensive. They last a long time. So find out what your lumens are and what your kelvins are by using a light meter, and get they have these ratchets. You can get them on Amazon. They have ratchets where you can just lower the strip lights to the height that you need, and as the plants grow you just raise it up accordingly, and it's real easy. So natural sunlight is what you're trying to emulate with the kelvins. Natural sunlight is about 6,500 kelvins, probably a little bit more. But
so what is the distance of the light from the top down to your seedling? What is the distance?
Well, the closer you are, the more kelvins and the more lumens you're going to get on your plants. Okay. You might be as much as 2 inches. If you have the light too high, your seedlings are going to get real long and leggy, and they're going to flop over. Once a plant gets leggy like that, throw it away and start over again, because they're never going to recover once they get like that. They just fall over and die.
So he's good with that, guys. If it is grow light, this is the guy that I always...
I started studying light years ago when I was into saltwater aquariums, and we started purchasing these expensive $800 metal halide lights back in the days. And I couldn't believe that the water wouldn't boil, because you could actually burn your hand if you put it 2 inches underneath the metal halide lights. Oh, yeah. And now they have also gone to LED lighting as well. And you can really get beautiful corals growing with the LEDs now.
So when I was in the Philippines, we never used, my mom never used grow lights or something like that. So
because you guys didn't have winter.
You just spread the seeds under the banana tree and then it just sprout by itself. Here you have to do a lot of experiments to be able to germinate your seeds.
I got a great idea.
What?
Why don't we move to the Philippines?
Really?
I'm game.
He really wants to go to the Philippines.
I hate winter. I hate it. It's like you have a
I like living in America. That's
5
why
to 6 month growing season. It's not America. It's just the winter. I hate winter.
In the winter, yeah. You probably enjoy down there, huh?
Yep. I don't like Florida.
Well,
Sorry
if
guys,
you-
if you guys live in Florida, it's just too much
So I
tourism.
told him, if you wanna move in the Philippines, you need money, right? You need
Well,
money.
you need money
because-
here too.
Because you need to buy a lot of things. So if you don't have money, then you cannot buy things.
We are almost in mid-February right now, and this is the time that you want to start looking at what plants you want to germinate for spring. Whether you're putting them in your garden or you're going to sell them, this is about the time you want to start.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. So right now we don't get enough sunlight, you know. So not only the plant is stressing out, we also are stressing out. We need sunshine.
Yeah.
All right. So is there any information that you can put in? So what
No,
grow lights
really.
that you already mentioned about the grow lights that they need to purchase? Or?
Well, you can get the long strip, 2 foot, 4 foot. You get the big square ones, depending on how many seed trays you're putting out there. But
Okay.
no, not really. There's so many lights and so many options that you can just check them all out.
All right. So that's it.
That's it.
Okay guys, so I'm going to show you our seeds germination inside the house, because here it's already occupied the entire area. So we use my office to germinate seeds. So let's go and check it out. So this is my propagation area, guys, in my office. You normally don't need lights when you germinate the seeds, but I just turn on the lights so I can see. So this is the bag. When you place the seeds in the bag, you can put it on the top of the dome, or you can place it directly to the heating mat. But make sure you place towel in the mat and place your bag. You don't want too much heat, so you control the heat of that. This is the controller, so I place the controller here down and set it to 75 degrees. So I grew the Plumeria here, like what you see here. This is the Plumeria Seeds, and this one here is already ready for transplant. This is the Clachuchi, and this is another baby here. Look at the baby, look at that. So I helped this take out the shell because it was struggling, and this is the new one, and these are all my dessert rows. So this one here is empty. I did not germinate seeds in this area, so I might have to germinate again. Alright, so the last method of seeds germination that I place as my number one is the Jiffy method. So this is the Jiffy. It comes in different sizes. Now, the good thing of using Jiffy is that when you germinate the seeds and then the seeds develop into a young plant, you don't go into transplant shock because it's already in the substrate. You just go ahead and plant directly into the garden. So what you will need, you have to soak this in warm water for 60 seconds or a minute and allow it to swell. So I have this GP here. I already soak it in water. So look at, it's already ready to grow seeds. So I place the Naga Viper inside. I just push it a quarter of an inch, and then in a tray like this, you just put it and then place in the propagating mat. You cover the tray with plastic, or if you can place it in the propagating box. So that's how easy using the GP plug. You can also buy the seed tray. It's a complete set where you have the tray as well as the GP. So I will link all the products on this video, guys, so just check the link. Alright, so we come up this far, and if you like this video, give us a lot of thumbs up and subscribe this video, guys. Join our gardening family, and also don't forget to ring the bell, because by clicking the bell is going to alarm you that I have another new video coming up, so at least you don't miss anything. So thank you for watching, guys, and I hope this video helps you. So start germinating seeds now, and wish you good luck with all your gardening. So see you next week. Peace out.